sure you're not doing this just for social media likes. Make sure
Mm.
you're not doing this just to be popular at school or be able to walk around like, oh yeah, I'm the big tough guy around here. Nobody might. It's you got to love the game. You got to love what you do, man. If you're showing up to the gym and training and fighting people not with the intentions of being a martial artist, a fighter, a respectable man, woman, whatever you may be,
Yeah.
then this isn't for you, dudes. You're going to run into somebody who really does live that lifestyle and it really is a badass individual. And you're going to.
Okay, everybody, we are back with another super special guest. Today, we are joined by professional bare knuckle boxer. He also has vast experience in other martial arts, such as MMA, kickboxing, boxing. He is Nate, the Bad Man Morrow. Okay, Nate, thank you so much for being with us today.
Not a problem. Not a problem. What's your name?
I'm Hunter.
Hunter. Great to
Yes,
meet
sir.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just get right into it. Last Friday, you make your BKFC debut in your home state of Nebraska. At that, um, just take us through your thoughts, your emotions, feelings beforehand going into that fight.
Well, it was just an absolute honor, man. I've been fighting for since I was 14, so about 14 years now, and I've always loved fighting people. Whether it's MMA, boxing. I've done kickboxing, bare knuckle boxing. We're in a backyard boxing. You
Mhm.
say something to my girlfriend, okay, we're boxing. You know what I mean? I love to fight people. So just to get the opportunity to perform for the bare knuckle fighting championship, something that's blowing up and becoming huge, the UFC of bare knuckle, it's an absolute honor, man. It was a pleasure and I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What were your thoughts like right before you're backstage? You're about to make that walk. How are you feeling?
I genuinely love fighting people, man. I
Mm,
love it. So I don't. The anxiety comes in the weeks leading up. That's my least favorite
mm,
part of fighting. Is hey, you're gonna fight somebody in 8 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever. So hurry up and wait type thing. I hate that. I hate that. So I
mm,
try and not think about it until obviously weigh-ins. I get butterflies. But
mm,
this fight, I got to talk to Josh a little bit before, and that kind of took away a lot of the nervousness because he's just such a nice guy. It's a pleasure to hear some of his stories from the military and just
mm.
talk with him. He's a cool customer, no crap talk, no nothing. So I wasn't nervous necessarily. I was just ready to do my job, man.
Yeah, yeah, ready to get in there and get it done. So
I love
you
I
did.
love it. I love it. I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, yeah, you did get it done. You get the stoppage in the third round. Is that kind of how you expected it to go, or like what were your feelings afterwards then?
Man, that is my intentions for every fight is hopefully I come in, I hit him more than he hits me and he doesn't want to go the full time. If I can get it done early, I want to get it done early.
And then just you said you have a vast MMA career, kickboxing, everything like that. I think your last MMA bout was December of last year. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I fought Corey who fought the fight after me against Tommy. And I ended up
Mm,
yep.
yeah, but what made you kind of make that transition to bare knuckle? Why BKFC, and what kind of was your interest there?
Well, like I said, obviously they're blowing up in popularity. It was sort of a local show. I live in Lincoln. It was in Omaha, so that drive and travel wasn't too bad. And I love fist fighting people, brother. I love it, man. I love it. So it's not hard to talk me into a fight.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's just like talk about the differences a little bit with like MMA and then not having any gloves. MMA is still the small gloves, obviously, but big difference with no gloves at all. Just what's your difference in like preparation and the fight itself?
So preparation wise, I kind of pretty much trained like I was training for a boxing fight, but in MMA gloves. So all my sparring was done in the 8 ounce or even some nights the 4 ounce if somebody didn't have the 8 ounce MMA gloves. And
Mm,
it's just a matter of kind of finding those angles, finding those boxing angles. And at the end of the day, it's still just a fight to me.
mm,
So it's me versus him and finding out ways I can beat him in that moment or in the lead up with tape, all that fun stuff.
mm,
But physical training and stuff like that, I didn't want to break my hands, bro. I did
Yeah.
not want to break my hands, bro. So
Mhm.
like I bought a bag of sand, like sand in a tube is what they call whatever. I duct taped that a bunch of times. I was punching that leading up to it. Not like you're breaking my
Right.
hands, but just trying to calcify my
Mm.
knuckles. I had an old tire laying around. I just hung that on a chain. I'd punch that some night. Anything. It seemed like anything hard I could find, I was punching it, punching myself in the
Yeah.
cheeks and stuff. Dude, I didn't want to get cut up. I didn't want to break my hands. Those are the two bugaboos. I got a little cut up, but
Yeah. And then just when you're in there, like any kind of fight, in your corner, you go to the corner, what type of advice do you prefer? I like asking guys or girls, like, are you more of a technical or are you like motivational, like let's go? What do you like to hear?
I I would say I definitely prefer calm, cool, collected, just giving me any advice, any good looks you see, I like to think I can hear pretty well during the fight as well. I can cut off the crowd from my corner. So as long
Mm.
as I can hear you, I like to think I'm like I'm like controlling a UFC character in the game or something. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I'll do whatever my coaches say if they think it'll work. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, if I need to get be slapped or something to pump me up. If I seem like I'm sleeping, I'm not opposed to that either by any means. My coaches know me pretty well. I've been with Robert since I started at 14, so
Mm.
they know me. They know what I need.
Yeah, got you. Now, since you did start so young at 14, like you said, I'm sure your training and kind of everything has evolved over the years. Just a matter of dialing in like the diet. Like, are you doing any of the hyper wellness, the cryo chamber, stuff like that? Like, what kind of stuff do you like to do? And how's it kind of evolved over the years?
I would say I do a lot of heat therapy. I
Mm.
haven't gotten into the cold. I hate the cold. I hate
Yeah,
it
me too.
so much. So it's a lot of heat baths, heat therapy, stuff like that. Ice packs if I absolutely have to. I can barely do the ice buckets or anything. But
Mm.
I like to think I'm pretty old school with my training since I started so young, 14 years ago when it was coming up. I was a punching bag. I
Mm.
was we just came in and roughed each other up 5 nights a week. It felt like, and that obviously breeds a different kind of mentality when I'm coming in and fighting. But it's definitely developed a lot more skill training, because obviously a lot of the competitors and just the game in general, it's
Mm.
growing so much. The people like Izzy, the people like Vasil Lomachenko, the people who make fighting look pretty, and people want to make their fighting look pretty like that. And so
Right.
clearly, Sean O'Malley's, you know what I mean? People
Yes.
who just make it look like art, man. And I guess that's grown to be more of my goal instead of, oh, I just want to take you down and beat you up. I fell in love with putting hands on people, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What is some like have you met anybody like I know, Connor has just become part owner in the company. I don't know if you gotten to meet him yet, but what's like some of the better advice you've gotten through the game from some vets and people like that?
um, I got to meet. I haven't met Connor yet. Fingers
Not yet.
crossed. I
Right.
can, sir, not yet. But I had the pleasure of meeting like Josh D. Dyer and Mike
Mm.
Richmond and a lot of the people who just work for Bare Knuckle and have been there from the start. Whether it be, I don't remember her name, but the lady who was signing posters, I was asking her questions about the evolution of the game and everything, and a lot of them said the same. Of it's becoming more skilled. It's obviously there's tough guys. There's always going to be tough guys in
Yeah.
fighting, but the evolution of skill, the evolution of taking care of yourself, the popularity's grown immensely. They all said, but
Mhm.
uh, Mike specifically, he told me, and I love fighters who give me this advice, but it's don't just focus on the fighting too. You can make money outside of fighting. You can make money. You can invest in yourself, not
Mm.
just getting beat up all the time. And
Yeah.
I really took that to heart, and I appreciated him taking time to even talk to me like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy time obviously with social media and you can build your own brand. Have you gotten into like podcasts like YouTube or anything like that on your own or is it just about kind of building your stuff like the normal stuff, Instagram, things like that?
I truthfully am a little socially anxious. So I've debated on like asking maybe my younger brother who's all into social media or my girlfriend who loves TikTok and stuff like that to maybe help me out in
Mhm.
starting to brand myself out more, maybe get into that lane a little bit, but I truly am just somebody who loves what they do. And whether I was a professional who's good at it or some tough guy who's not good at it, I'd
Mm.
be still doing the same damn thing. I love fighting people. I just want to do what I love to do. But
Yeah.
I understand that I need to start to do that if I want to make a name for myself, if I want to be on big cards, if I want to even become a champion. They don't want champions who nobody knows. So
Right.
I I absolutely would love
Hi
to.
guys, Miranda Maverick here, UFC Flyweight. I hope you guys are enjoying the interview so far. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe before you get back to the video.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you wanna expand and kinda do these other things, but you're locked in at the same time. You don't
Yep.
wanna feel like
Yep.
you're kinda straying from that stuff. But yeah, I just wanna pivot, do some, like, fun side questions.
Absolutely.
I've seen, like, that video where it's like a street brawl is gonna break out or something like that. You can bring 3 fighters with you. Who do you got?
Ooh, it really depends on. I ask a lot of follow up questions. So clearly,
Yeah.
who are we fighting? Who are we fighting against? In your
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think just like general kinda like general population, maybe some fighters in there too, not necessarily all pro fighters, but like a mix of people.
man, okay. So street fight, I want some people who obviously can handle themselves, but they got that little crazy side to them. You got to be a little
Yeah.
crazy to street fight somebody. So man, I would want big talented fighters like John Jones. John
Okay.
Jones got to back me up, brother.
Mm.
Although they might start fighting each other, I'll take Francis right next to him, dude. That's a scary lineup already, man.
Yeah.
Uh, and we got to get some speed in there. Somebody who's a dog. Let's get Max Holloway in there too, and let's
Ooh,
just let's just all start dogging it out with people.
yeah. I
I
love
like
that
my
approach.
chances.
Yeah, I like that approach. I like taking, like, 2 big guys too, like 2 heavyweights.
I gotta take it back. I gotta take it back. I'll
Good.
replace Max with my new boss, Connor. That's a smart.
Ooh,
That's Connor. Connor knows how to punch somebody bare knuckle.
yeah, he's got a win over Max, but, yeah,
Yep. Yep.
I like going, like, 2 big guys like that too, and then, like you said, like, a crazy guy like Bobby Green or somebody like that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Damn right.
anybody wild. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of MMA or just, martial arts in general?
I'm small, man. I'm small, so my Mount Rushmore. Although obviously John Jones is an absolute goat, I like to think of smaller people who've made an impact on my career fight wise, and I would definitely say Dominic Cruz made me fell in love with the
Mhm.
sport. Just with again, it's art. He made beating people up like art,
Yeah.
and then I would definitely say, hmm, obviously just promoting yourself and being tough and like walking the talk while also talking. Connor,
Mhm.
got to
Yeah,
put Connor on there.
sure.
Um, boxing wise, I had mentioned him before, but Vasil Lomachenko, he absolutely is again art, absolute
Yeah.
art, man. And then I would want to say Floyd as well, just
Mm.
again showing that ability to not only be and speak and talk that talk, but skills pay the bills, brother.
Yes.
Skills pay the bills, and that boy is him.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Those are all great choices, obviously, and
How
you
about
can get in.
yourself?
Oh, myself? Man, if I just go pure MMA, I'm probably gonna go John Jones, of course. Gotta throw Mighty Mouse. I'm a small guy myself too, so I respect him 1,000%. Probably like GSP or BJ Penn. It's like I like, you know, the callbacks to some of those first generation guys, of course. And then like I go personal favorite like Nate Diaz or somebody like that. It's
Hell
like
yeah,
three greats and then one kind of personal favorite. And Nate's great too, obviously.
absolutely, absolutely.
You started out young, like you said yourself. What advice would you have for somebody starting out just now, like you did, 14, 15, just getting into it?
The main advice I got being so young and doing it is make sure you're not doing this just for social media likes. Make sure
Mm,
you're not doing this just to be popular at school or be able to walk around like, oh yeah, I'm the big tough guy around here. Nobody met. It's you got to love the game. You got to love what you do, man. If you're showing up to the gym and training and fighting people not with the intentions of being a martial artist, a fighter, a respectable man, woman, whatever you may be,
yeah.
then this isn't for you, dude. You're going to run into somebody who really does live that lifestyle and really is a badass individual. And you're going to get hurt and you're not going to like it anymore. You got to
Yeah.
love this. You got to be willing to be the hammer and the nail, whether you're famous on social media or you're just some kid coming up with the dreams of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's perfect advice. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and then obviously everything else not take care of itself, but then you can lock in once you're over that part. Yeah, I think that's amazing advice. And then just what are some goals of yours? Obviously, like becoming champion and stuff, but like who do you want to see next? And then just kind of map out the near future for yourself if you could.
So I made my debut at 45, and I walk around. I cut like 5 pounds. I cut like
Mm,
5 pounds. You know what I mean? I didn't even use the pound allowance. I'm naturally a 35er, so I'd absolutely love to go down to 35. And I think the sport's so young. There's not an expansive, like, I want to say, repertoire of everybody in the division. You know what I mean? So their rankings aren't that high, but I truly believe I've been fighting for 14 years, brother, and I'm no slouch. You watch me. I'm no slouch, dude. I
yeah.
can do that to absolutely anybody on this planet, I believe, and I
Yeah.
would love to get to test myself against somebody in the top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I did watch that fight. That was amazing. You seem like you had some range, like length, even for 45. So I can't imagine 135 what you'd be able to do.
Mean stuff, brother.
Yeah. No, I bet. And then just before I get you out of here, like anybody else you want to shout out?
Always, all glory to God first and foremost. My mother, my siblings, my girlfriend, my friends, my sponsors, Two Tough Builders, Gorilla Glass, Two Toughs out of Hastings, Gorilla Glass out of Grand Island, Nebraska, Good Life Construction, Easy Money. That's my management man, Scott Anson. He's the absolute best. And you, brother, you for having me out, you for wanting to talk to me. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And then just your socials, just plug those for us.
It's at Nader's Morrow on Instagram, and then I have Facebook as well. It's just Nate Morrow. You'll see my ugly face.
Nah. Perfect, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time. Can't wait to watch your journey, see where everything goes for you.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, shout out BKFC, Connor, Dave, Nate Shook. Appreciate you all.
Shout out. All right, man. Thank you so much.